I got a great with Cole Johnson got something he has a great with. But we'll get to that through that time. We'll get to that. But first and foremost, let's just go through the practice again. Make sure everybody understands who's in as of right now. So we're gonna begin with the men's first. All right, as we begin with the men's, UConn the number one overall seed because they literally the only team that was the one seed going in that actually did their job.
Right. That's correct. The only one.
So they the overall number one.
Every other number one seeded team or seeded possibility decided to take L's in the conference tournaments.
Don't worry, Cole Johnson's gonna get to one of those in a minute once I get done with this East region. So we in the East region, UConn the overall number one seed. They'll be seeing Stetson Hatters. Congratulations. And you got FAU and Northwestern to do battle. The 512 is
that's what UConn's gonna do before they go to Boston for the Sweet 16 and Elite 8. My bad.
The 512 is San Diego State and UAB. The 413 Auburn and Yale. 611 BYU and Duquesne. 314 Illinois Morehead State.
Duquesne, really? You're gonna disrespect that college name like that? It's Duquesne, brother. Duquesne.
I should have known that from hearing Tony this whole time. My bad. Duquesne. I forgot the S is silent. Duquesne. 710 Washington State and Drake. And the 215 Iowa State and South Dakota State. Now, that is the East region. The South region, and I'm going to go ahead and say who the number one team is, and I'm going to get out the way because somebody got something he needs to say. The number one team in the South region is the Houston Cougars. Go ahead.
Now, this is what you need to do, Cougars. You were fortunate. You were very fortunate that the team that mollywopped you in your Big 12 championship tournament game is not in your region. Now, you see, if I was a committee member there, you know what I would have done? I would have put you number one, but I would have put Ohio State number two because I would want to, and I would want to make it as light of a journey for both teams as possible because I would want you to face up against Iowa State in the Elite Eight and see if you can actually climb that hurdle or get blown away yet again by the Cyclones. You all should be ashamed of yourselves. You were ranked number one in the country. I can understand if you took an L. You got mollywopped by the Cyclones. Really? Really? And what happened to the offense? It just disappeared. Come on now. You got to do better than that. Now, hopefully in this region, and you got a reprieve, hopefully you in this region, you will coast through and you get to the Final Four. But if I were the committee, I would have made Ohio State number two. I would have made Iowa State number two in the region. I would have made them number two in the South, so you would have the chance to face them in the Elite Eight.
And speaking of that region, they'll be facing Longwood. Shouldn't be a problem, in my opinion. But here's the tricky part: Nebraska the 8, Texas A&M the 9.
Yeah, they'll get Houston will get a good test in the in the round of 32. Either team. It doesn't matter if it's A&M or Nebraska. They'll give them a good test. They should advance, but they'll get a good test in round 32.
An interesting 5-12 matchup is the Wisconsin Badgers and the James Madison Dukes. And speaking of Duke, they're the 4th seed and they get a Vermont.
Duke. I'm sorry about that.
That did not mean for you to do that, okay?
Duke.
6-11 Texas Tech and NC State.
I was just singing a song, man. Jeez.
I want y'all to mark NC State, okay? Because I'm gonna explain why later, but whatever mark you want to put a mark by NC State. Okay?
Oh, I'm smelling dark horse.
No, I'll explain later. 3-14 Kentucky and Oakland. Maybe this may be the game Kentucky might confine themselves. Just throwing that out there.
What team shows up? I want them to be in the Elite Eight, but what team will show up? That's the only question I got with Kentucky.
I'm just throwing that out there. 7-10. The 7 seeds, the Florida Gators.
The team that my partner, my on-air partner at the moment, 2 weeks prior doubted they would even get to this portion.
I did not doubt it. We went through this in the chat. I'm not going to go through this on air.
I really want to play That Was a Lie so bad right now.
I bet you do. You don't even have a clip that says I doubted them making a tournament. That's how I know.
You said it outside. You said that on recording, not necessarily those words, but outside recording, you said that to me. So I don't know why you were chastised.
I said on air. I said I didn't want them in the tournament at the time.
You chastised me. You're like, why are you caping up for my team? I mean, how dare you? They go to Kentucky, they whoop up on them, and then they take an L when they shouldn't take an L. I'm like,
Texas A&M anybody?
I can't help if the team goes up and down because that Texas A&M L, and this was off air. That Texas A&M L, you was like, man, they don't even deserve to be in the tournament. I'm like, they're gonna get there.
See, I said they don't deserve to be in the tournament. I didn't say they weren't gonna make the tournament. There's a difference.
And when you said if they keep going, they won't make it, and then they take an L in Nashville to Vanderbilt.
Well, that's after they smacked Auburn and they smacked Alabama the second go around.
Yeah, see? And then they got a chance to smack Alabama again. See, that's what I'm saying. Beautiful. It's beautiful how it all worked out. So congratulations to your Gators.
Your mentality partner is in the chat. What's up, Wise?
Wise El Jefe in the house. My main man. What's up, brother? Glad to see you, man.
I would say this. Prayers go out to my man Michael. That was not pleasant to see a stretcher.
Man,
it was not pleasant.
Man, I can throw all the jokes I can at you about Florida. I saw that, my heart went out to you, to that young man's family, and to Florida. That was horrendous, man. I was like, oh man, they don't deserve that. He don't deserve.
You
that.
know it's bad when they didn't even show no replay.
No, that was bad.
And you know they usually show replays of what happened, and they ain't show no replay at all.
That was bad. It was really bad. Yeah.
They went to commercial break. They came back. Still didn't show no replay.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, because I saw the final score of the game because I didn't catch the game. I just caught the final score. I was like, Auburn seemed to have their way with Florida, and then I saw that play. I was like, oh, that explains it.
I would say this. Even after that, we cut the lead down to 1. Mm-hmm. And then we went back to having the problems that we had before we cut back down to 1. And Auburn said, no, we're not. No, y'all not coming back in here. So basically, we can say we're even now because Auburn paid us back from regular season.
Yeah.
When we smacked them in Gainesville.
We smacked them in Gainesville, right.
And everybody was shocked because at that time, nobody thought Auburn could get beat, let alone beat like that.
Yeah. And, they bounced back. They had a really good tournament. Shout out to you, Bruce Pearl.
Shout out to Bruce Pearl and Auburn. But, yes, my Gators are in it. We'll get the winner between Boise State and Colorado.
Do you think this is punishment of the NCAA toward Colorado for hiring Deion? They actually were in the Pac-12 championship game, and they actually had to go into a play-in.
You just want to prove my point where they did Florida no favors. And just in case we do get past them, the number 2 team in the country is Marquette.
And they looked pretty darn good.
But it's question mark because they don't have their point guard. They don't have their point guard.
They are beatable. But they look pretty darn good.
They'll get the hilltoppers of Western Kentucky.
That's around these parts, or about maybe an hour north of here.
So that's the East and South region. Let's go to the Midwest and the West regions. Starting the Midwest, number 1, Purdue. Save it. I already know where you're going because I had everybody save it for now. Save it for now. I know where you're going. I will give you your opportunity.
Drew, what's up, my man? Oh yeah. Before I continue. Total football talk tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Central. You know we're gonna break down the NFL and we're gonna touch a little on the UFL. That's how it's gonna go down. Total football talk, search over media and the Coin Media YouTube channels.
We're gonna get to that later on.
Tuesday morning.
I set it up to a point where we can get to that later on. I know where you feel it because I'm with you. We're gonna get to that later on. Oh, trust me, we're gonna get to that later on. Snowman's in the building.
Yes, what's up, Snowman? Good man. I saw your brackets early today. I likes it, bro. I likes it.
Snowman's in the building, so there we go.
All right. So you mentioned that Purdue is the number
Purdue
one
would get the
Midwest seed.
Mm-hmm. Purdue would get the winner between Montana State, Grambling State.
Before you continue, why does it? Well, I guess this must be punishment for them and the West number one North Carolina, considered they're the lower two number one seeds, that they get to play the play-in winner instead of UConn and Houston, who don't. They just straight up play a 16th seed.
Told you we got a lot to talk about. I'm just telling you, put them in that same amount that you put by NC State. I told you earlier. Put that on that 16 line between Montana State and Grambling State. I'll explain. I'm telling you, I'm going to explain this because I know what people think. I got the answer. I'm not gonna say I got the answer, but I have an answer for you on why certain things happen.
You might have your third ever 16 over 1. I'm sorry, my name.
Oh my gosh. The 8-9 is Utah State and TCU. That 8-9 matchup.
Rough. TCU gave Houston the business, so this is not a team you can take for light.
No, you can't. So 5-12. Circle this 5-12. Circle this 5-12.
One of the best games. This is probably going to be one of the best games of that round. It's probably going to be one of the best games in the round. Yeah.
Everybody is on McNeese State.
Loving McNeese State.
Circle that game.
They're loving McNeese State.
I don't want it what Mark Few is saying to his ball club today and going into that game because McNeese State is a favorite upset pick right now.
You cold for that, Drew.
Damn. Really, Sensei? Really? Come on. Really? I thought Yao Ming was wearing a Purdue Field team jersey for a moment. Oh my Lord, Sensei Jude.
Yummy.
The 4-12, the 4-13 matchup is Kansas and Sanford.
Yummy.
If Kansas can't get they big men's back, you might have a 4-13 upset. Because
I'm not impressed with Kansas.
With the way they look without their big men's, they got to put it on them.
Look, they went to Houston the last game of the regular season. They didn't belong on the court. And then they looked like they didn't even want to play in the Big 12 tournament. They looked like they wanted no parts of the tournament. That's how bad they looked.
So, you might want to put a little star behind that 4-13 matchup in the Midwest region because that might be an upset. Depending on if Kansas wants to show up or not.
That might be a 13 over 4, yeah.
And plus if they healthy because without Herndon Dickinson, they look terrible. That was just unreal.
Oh, yeah. Yummy.
Would you stop with the yummy stuff? Jeez.
Yummy.
The 6-11 matchup, South Carolina and Oregon.
Screaming won't help the playmaker.
I don't think the committee did South Carolina any favors with that matchup.
No, they didn't.
You giving them the hottest team in the Pac-12. That is so disrespectful.
It's funny that they decided to give them the Pac-12 tournament champ for the first round opponent. I mean, that's messed up. Seriously, that's messed up.
By the way, put a mark by Oregon's name.
So that's 2 11 seeds to put a name by, a mark by. Okay.
And then we got that 16 play, and we got a mark by.
Yeah.
3-14, Creighton and Akron.
Mm-hmm.
Creighton, if y'all the team that I think y'all are, this should be no problem.
Yeah,
if y'all the team that I think y'all are.
If the shots fall, they most certainly are.
Oh, round of applause for Cole Johnson, the Texas Longhorns, the 7 seed.
You could take that clap play. No, I'm sorry, my bad. that's supposed to be a hospitable guest, and I'm being here hospitable. My bad. Thank you for that golf clap and that sarcastic clap.
Hey, I returned the favor. How you like that?
I was legit happy for your Gators fans.
Hey,
you on the other hand, were being sarcastic.
You ain't think your team's getting in the first place,
and
they got in,
and
so we're in the same boat.
But thank you. That's been my point right there. Thank you.
I ain't want them. I ain't want Florida in at the moment in time.
I get you didn't want them in, but you
want
actually what time?
I was on air and I said I don't want Florida in because I know they're gonna be a first weekend exit. And the way that bracket fell, I still might be right.
Yeah, but yeah, congrats to Texas. I'll say this: they got to play better when they go to the SEC.
They'll get the runner between Virginia and Colorado State. See, they ain't do y'all no favors either.
No, none. None.
And then your 215 is Tennessee, and they get that sweet darling is back in the tournament. St. Peter's is back in the tournament.
So, is it just me, Playmaker, or did the tournament committee want to punish Tennessee in either having a 15-2 upset or they get bounced in the round of 32? Because they made Tennessee's road just to get to the Sweet 16 extremely difficult.
They did, but put a mark by St. Peter's name. But you're going to know why I'm telling you put a mark by these teams' names. That's the Midwest. Let's go to the West.
The West.
The final number 1 seed is the North Carolina Tar Heels.
North Carolina, throw your hands up. Take your shoes off. Treat it like a helicopter. North Carolina. This was with you. This was to us. Oh. Who am I? Pity Pop. I'm sorry, my bad. Yes, sir.
At least UNC actually made their conference championship game.
The only other one that actually made it that far.
Yeah.
that in Houston, they made it to the conference championship game too, but they actually played decent. They lost, but they actually played decent.
You're right, but I don't even think that bit goes to championship game.
I agree with you. I agree with you. I was so disappointed in Houston. I'm like, at least show up. At least roll the ball on the court. At least dive or something. Don't just simply throw the white flag 10 minutes in the game. Come on, man. Y'all supposed to be champs. And y'all like chumps in here. That's sad. Yeah. I'm sorry. North Carolina.
North Carolina will get the winner between Harvard and Wagner. Put a mark by that 16.
Memo the Tar Heels fan. Be happy for victories other than the ones against Duke. Suckers.
We have been through this many times, and I have not.
There are more teams that matter than Duke in North Carolina's canon. Act like it.
And if we're going to be honest, you might want to listen to Mr. Johnson, because if you handle business against the 16 team, you're either getting Mississippi State or you're getting Tom Izzo.
Which way you want to get roughed up in the round 32?
You know what they say? January, February, March, Izzo. This is where Tom Izzo comes to life for some reason.
Somehow, some way, he gets those teams playing in a way that you never thought they could. Yeah.
Just saying. I'm just saying.
And I mean, and it's same thing, rugged. And when I mean rugged, I mean positively rugged. Rugged, tough, defensive-minded. Man, I mean, he is the opposite of Tennessee, where with Mick Barnes' teams, they fold like a tent. But Michigan State, if they smell the end of dance, they're going to give everybody the business.
Why it says Big Easy got raw, and I will explain why he said that later on.
Well, I mean, hey, Utah's the number 1 ranked team in the whole country, so they're thinking that's pretty much all there is to it.
What's Sensei saying now?
I was Cartman, cheesy poof mad at Virginia Commonwealth University yesterday for losing their second consecutive Atlantic 10 final and allowing Duquesne, an NCAA tournament berth for the first time in 46 years. Expletive emoji.
He ain't lying. He ain't lying. He's trying to lie. I watched the game. I was watching that game while watching. Let me see. I was watching that game while watching. Who played first? We played first. I was watching both games at the same time.
Wow, so Duquesne ain't been in the NCAA tournament since '78? Wow, that's a long time.
Yeah. Ooh. But they made it, so. Your 5-12 matchup in the West, St. Mary's and Grand Canyon.
That's a good matchup there.
Um,
A lot of
yeah,
people seem to be high on Grand Canyon too.
that's a 31 win team.
No. When I say high, I mean we've seen teams that have been not in the big time conferences win 30 games, but they'll throw them against the number one ranked team, they get trounced. Number one seed team, they just get steamrolled.
That's because that committee at time didn't know what the freak they was doing. I caught myself.
But there's a lot, yeah. But there's a lot of people that are on Grand Canyon's bandwagon.
Dude, Grand Canyon's like 31-3, and these boys can put up points in bunches. And you're going against the St. Mary's team that's basically the same.
Yeah, I'm about to say, and they've got St. Mary's who could do the exact same thing, put up points in bunches. Man. Ooh, man, the NCAA wanted us to actually like these 5-12 matchups. He's saying that he's saying that Duquesne, that's right. The last time they made it to the NCAA tournament, my man Drew wasn't even born.
That's terrible.
By about, I think, 9 years.
And then 4-13 in the West, Alabama and Charleston. Listening to Reese Davis, and those of you who know Reese Davis, he is a grad from Alabama.
That's right. I totally forgot about that.
He picked Charleston.
He should.
He was on the Pat McAfee show, and he picked Charleston. So I'm like, what?
So Reese picked Charleston. He should. You saw how bad they were in Nashville? You saw how bad Alabama was in Nashville. I wouldn't be... Reese, I'm proud of you. Being an Alabama alum, I'm glad you said, look, they played such hot garbage in the tournament, they don't even deserve to make it past the first round. Thank you.
Not the fact he asked the guy who root for the team that actually did the damage to them. Like I was finna respond to that.
You're right.
6-11, Clemson gets New Mexico. Clemson made it. But
I saw the tournament selection show. That was so funny. You saw Clemson. They were celebrating. They were dapping each other up because they were in their locker room. Clemson then made number 16. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, baby. You all will go against New Mexico. Oh Lord. Yeah. And then they cut to New Mexico and they're in there and then in their arena and they just explode and throwing confetti all over the place.
The Mountain West champions are an 11 seed.
Well, I'll put it this way. So Clemson got this bid thanks to was it their third win ever on the road against North Carolina? And yeah. Basically, it was on the strength of that, and very little else.
And yeah, you get the Mountain West champions. Good luck. And you talking about a team that beat San Diego State? That says a lot.
Oh, Drew is coming with some barbs and bombs. The best part about this bracket: no USC, especially no Bronzexual Jr. Oh, wow.
And thanks to Sensei Juice, Snowman in the Morning has made it to shooting lights out.
No Bronzexual Jr.
Your 3-14 matchup in the West is Baylor versus Colgate. Shout out to Colgate for making it.
Yeah.
But you got to win Baylor.
Yeah. We'll congratulate you, and you'll get thoroughly trounced and bounced.
Yeah, y'all got Baylor. I'm sorry. Your 7-10 matchup, Dayton and Nevada. I like Dayton in this one. Like I don't feel that 7-10 upset in this one.
I like Dayton it too, but I like the matchup. But yeah, I agree. I think Dayton's going to hold serve basically.
And then finally, the 2 seed in the West, Arizona Wildcats. They need to be on pins and needles because they got a team who coach basically got fired, and then they end up winning their tournament in Long Beach State.
Ain't nothing but a G thing, baby. Too locked up because of crazy.
Arizona better be on their P's and Q's because That team in Long Beach, oh, they playing with house money now. They can play with however they want to play.
Death Row ain't the label that pays me. Unfadable, so please don't try to fade this.
And
But
the committee think
back
they
to the
slick.
situation.
The committee think they slick. I see what you did in the West region. I see what you did. I'm gonna get to it in a minute. So that's the four brackets as we sit here right
so
now.
You lay the brackets out. All right.
Here are the top four seeds in each region.
All right.
This is where the fun begins.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see on the East, UConn, Iowa State, Illinois, Auburn.
Illinois. Talking like he from the 70s. Oh, I'm sorry, my bad.
In the South region, Houston, Marquette, Kentucky, Duke.
All right.
The Midwest, Purdue, Tennessee, Creighton, and Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
And in the West, North Carolina, Arizona, Baylor, and Alabama.
All right.
Cole Johnson, where do you want to begin now?
Why they had to put Iowa State in the East? UConn should have earned the right to have the easiest bracket of them all. They're the number one ranked overall seed.
They got the hardest bracket.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like they stacked the bracket. I'm like,
the Big East champion is number one. The Big 12 champion is number two.
The Big 10 champion is number three. The SEC champion is number four. I'm like, come on. I was like, don't stack the deck against them. They're the number one overall seed. Number one overall ranked team. Let them have the easiest path to the Final Four. Let them earn that right, at least. But no. Mm-mm.
And by the way, Wise says
yeah, UConn got screwed. Yeah.
Wise agrees with us.
I'm like, you throw in the Big 12 champ, the Big 10 champ, the SEC champ. That's the other three top seeds in your region. Kid real.
Meanwhile, in the West region, they trying to set up a Caleb Love Elite Eight battle.
Mm-hmm. That's what I see. That's what I said they were trying to set up for it. UNC and Arizona.
And they're trying to get Purdue an easy route to the Elite Eight.
I agree. I just get the feeling they're gonna get out before the Elite Eight, but yeah, they did. They set up Purdue to me with the easiest route. At least to the Elite Eight. At least to there.
Hey, you already said you have no faith in Kansas.
No, none. Zilch.
If the three ball ain't working for Creighton,
forget it. They are beatable. But I think, for some reason, when it comes to these tournaments, all you need to have is one in the game fall, and if for some reason it just makes a team that has a decent shot of making those long range jumpers fall, they seem to fall in bunches.
And now, if somebody from outside of Coquette from Tennessee want to show up, Tennessee can make a run. But Don Coquette, that boy is a bomb. Even though I'm a Gator fan, and he plays for Tennessee, that dude's a baller.
See, this is what pisses me off about Tennessee. People want to claim that this team is going to be the boss, and they're gonna, they're gonna be one of the best teams in the country, and then they get to, forget the NCAA tournament. They get to the Southeastern Conference tournament. What was that game against Mississippi State, Rick Barnes?
I have no idea.
You scored 19 points in the first half. You should have white flagged and forfeited and just gone back to Knoxville right then and there. I mean, come on.
You're basically the home team.
Yes. Let's be honest. Nashville's the home of Vanderbilt. Everybody knows Vanderbilt wasn't gonna go anywhere, and
they just fired Jerry Stackhouse.
They gave Jerry Stackhouse his walking papers soon after their game was done. Tennessee was going to be the team that was that had the home field advantage because Knoxville is only 160 miles from Nashville. So they travel, and there's a whole lot of Tennessee alum who live in Nashville. So this was laid out for you, and you give us 19 points in the first half against Mississippi State.
You know the funny thing is, Tennessee. Alabama, Kentucky, they all had the double buys, and
And
Auburn.
all of them, and yeah, and all, and except for Auburn, and all of them lost the first game they played in that tournament after the double buys.
Which opened the door for Auburn.
Yeah,
And
which
then
just rolled the red carpet for Auburn to just simply steamroll the rest of the way. Yeah.
and then they looked up. They got to get a payback on my good because I'm pretty sure they wanted a rematch with us for the longest. Like,
Well, of
bro,
course.
y'all beat us like we never been beat before.
Yeah, so we got to give you a taste of your own medicine. Yeah. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. But yeah, that just pissed me off by Tennessee. The whole hype was this guy. They actually were in line for a number one seed, and if they actually were to have won the SEC tournament, considering that UNC got bounced in the championship game in their ACC tournament, they would have been the fourth number one. But no, they didn't even want to show up in the semifinal. They didn't want to even think about the semifinal because in the quarterfinals they decided to say bye-bye and leave.
Sensei says, "How is North Carolina number one after looking like dumpster?"
It's because you had, let me see. So in the tournament you had Houston lose, Purdue lose, Arizona lose, Tennessee lose, and Kentucky lose. All of them were probably in line for a number one seed if they did really well in tournament. And UNC got all the way to the championship game in the ACC tournament. That's why, even looking like dumpster Pelicans, they ended up getting the very last number one seed.
Some people believe Iowa State should have got number one. Here's the problem.
Nah.
Here's the problem.
Nah.
They had the one of the weakest non-conference schedules.
That's what did them in. No.
We talking. They non-conference ranking was like 320.
The only reason why they got the way they got was because of 2 wins against Houston. That's the only reason why they got as high as they got. So to me, what I would have done is I would have actually put. Let me see. I would have put Tennessee over in the East. I would have put Marquette in the Midwest. And I would have put Ohio State in the South. I would have had them the number 2 seed. And I would have had Houston look at that number 2 seed and say, doggone it, either we're going to be destroying the Cyclones in the Elite Eight in Dallas, or we're going to be sweating buckets. Because I would want Houston to stare at that scarlet letter all the way until the Elite Eight.
Well, that's the top 4 seeds. Kansas, they run their consecutive streak of making the tournament to 34. Michigan State at 26, Gonzaga at 25, and Purdue at 9. And we have faith in none of these teams.
Michigan State's the only one I have. I'll actually say this: Michigan State's the one I have the most faith in, and then the number 9 seed in the West. So they're not gonna really go all that far.
So congratulations on making a tournament still, but.
And yes, I realize Purdue is one of the number ones. I just don't feel them after Edie. Please give me a reason to actually like the team or root for them, or give me hope that they actually can be a team where they can make a lot of noise other than their big fella. I'm sorry, I can't.
All right. Oh, Lord. Go ahead, Cole. Go ahead.
So Toba Media, or Drew Willingham, he says, quote, The Rock said that Phoenix is full of meth heads since they never win anything over that way. They should have given Arizona the number 1 seed. Q, feels like the first time. Feels like the very first time. Feels like the first time. Feels like the very first time.
Oh, sorry. All right. So
we're
your last
gonna
one,
make that history. See, it must be the woman in you that brings out the man in me.
Are you done?
Oh. You know why I do it, Playmaker. You know why I do it.
I know. Now, if you notice, your last 4 in are the 4 teams that playing in the play-in.
That is correct.
And your first 4 out is OU, Seton Hall, Indiana State, and Pittsburgh.
I know there was some people that were angry that Seton Hall got the host. I've heard the talk about that. People thought that Indiana State should have made it in, but I've heard more that say, that's okay.
Now, people,
Pitt.
take a picture of this, or write the schools down, because later on I'm gonna give you the reason why.
Pitt.
The first 4 here I'm gonna give you some answers. It might not be the answer you want to hear, but I got some answers of why the first 4 out is the way it is.
Oh, I'm gonna give you one answer right now. The fact that OU was out makes this all worth it. Get out, OU, and stay out.
This guy here. You and your hatred for OU. Now I got to deal with it in the Southeastern Conference next year.
Oh, look. It's 4:48 p.m., March 18, 2024. And OU still sucks. But at least you're not A&M. I'm sorry. Go ahead, sir.
All right, these are the
where they blow
by seedings from all of the.
Hey, you can take blow however you like.
And the main ones people like to look at is this 10-7.
It might be like the Rock that A&M does blow, but they blow all the same. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, my bad. You talking? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Are you part of WrestleMania?
Yes.
Are you a part of WrestleMania that I didn't know about? Are you on the card that I didn't know?
I couldn't resist. It just felt good to say that. Oh my gosh. I'm so sorry.
And then Sensei Jews want to keep egging on Cole Johnson. Is like, wow. All right, who is number 11
for Virginia? Smiling so hard. That induced by something.
And I'll be hanging out with Drew with Sensei Drew in about an hour and a half from now.
Oh, you're gonna get a whole lot more of that too.
Well, this is the seeding by ranking. So for those of you who are looking, where is your 12-15 upset at? Where is your 11-6 upset at? Where is your 10-7 upset at? Those are the main ones. You might get a 13-4 upset. You know, the way that this season has been going, and Coach Johnson has been with for most of it. Anything is possible outside of maybe, a 1 seed might get caught this year too. Who knows?
The only number one that might get caught this year will probably again be Purdue. I don't think they will this year, but yeah. But you might see a 15-2 this year. You might. So, am I rooting for it? No, but I mean, you might see it.